Sisters engaging everyone. We inspire you to be the best that you can become. Uplift and empower you with stories we share. No one else can compare to Sisters Engaging Everyone.
Hello, and welcome to Sisters Engaging Everyone. Come on in, join me. You know what time it is. It's Thursday night, so that means it's poetry time. We are finishing up from the collection of poems that Tupac Shakur wrote, The Rose That Grew from Concrete. But before we get going, you need to please hit that like and then subscribe if you haven't already. Please share this video and also hit that notification bell so you are notified each time we drop a video. So let's go. This poem is called What I See. With my eyes closed, I can see. We have a chance to discover ecstasy. But the clouds of doubt have made you blind, so you are afraid of the emotions that you may find. I know that you've been hurt before, but this is no excuse for you to ignore. The seed that Cupid planted in hopes that we should sow, the infant emotion deserves to breathe, so why won't you let it grow? A neglected flower will wither on its own. It will surely die. But with honesty, passion, and mutual respect, we can soar beyond the sky. So please don't follow what you see. Follow the rhythm within your heart. Believe in me, though you cannot see what lies within the dark. That was pretty profound. This next one is called In the Midst of Passion. Oh, and it's entitled Adultery. In the midst of passion, two figures stand, immersed in ecstasy, joined hand in hand. Words are unnecessary, feelings are heard. The body takes control, death to words. It is at this stage that I think of you in gratitude for this joy you have exposed me to. Each day is bright with you as the dawn. With the collapse of each night, a strong bond is born. In the midst of passion, I remember your kiss. I reminisce about your touch and suddenly miss the scent you wear and the tone of your voice. Only you can be my choice in the midst of passion. I see you and me lost in constant ecstasy. Again. He must have thought that was a little risque, so he named it Adultery. To people with one wish. There were two people with one wish. To live a life filled with love. To God they would pray that together they'd stay under the stars above. But someone else made a wish at the same time on the same breath. And although the wish for love was granted, so was the evil wish for death. Now I make a wish sealed with tears and laughter. It is my wish that these two loves are reunited in the ever after. That's sweet. For two people who have transitioned, sort of like a Romeo and Juliet. This one is entitled, Hours pass by. I think of you in my arms and what it would be like to make love. I think of you raising my seed and what that be made of. I think of how alone I was before you came to be. I think of the joy I felt when you said you thought of me. I'm proud to be the heart you chose to make a friend. Hours pass by and Cupid cries until we meet again. And here's a little picture going into another chapter called Just a Breath of Freedom. As we move into a new chapter, Just a Breath of Freedom. Just a breath of freedom for Nelson Mandela. Held captive for your politics, they wanted to break your soul. They ordered the extermination of all minds they couldn't control. For you, the fate was far worse than just a brutal homicide. They caged you like an animal and watched you slowly die inside. As you breathe your first air of freedom on the day you become a free man, raise your regal brow in pride, for now you are in God's hands. The life of many were given so that the day would one day come that the devils in power at Pretoria would pay for the evil crimes they've done. That was deep. This one is titled For Miss Hawkins, in memory of Yusuf Hawkins. This poem is addressed to Miss Hawkins, who lost her son to a racist society. I'm not out to offend the positive souls, only the racist dogs who lied to me. An American culture plagued with nights like the nights Yusuf was killed. If it were reserved, it would be the work of a savage, but the white killer was just strong-willed. But Miss Hawkins, as sure as I'm a Panther, with the blood of Malcolm in my veins, America will never rest if Yusuf dies in vain. Wow. My condolences. Sun and the moon. Your ways are similar to the rays of the sun, warm to many, but too strong for some. The more you are needed, the brighter you shine. Watch for too long, and your brilliance will blind the eyes of mortal men who threaten you with doom. They regret to see you set, but it is time for the moon. That wasn't written for anybody in particular. Fallen Star for Huey P. Newton. They could never understand what you set out to do. Instead, they chose to ridicule you. When you got weak, they loved the sight of your dimming and flickering starlight. How could they understand what was so intricate to be loved by so many, so intimate? They wanted to see your lifeless corpse. This way you could not alter the course of ignorance that they have set to make my people forget what they have done for much too long, to just forget and carry on. I had loved you forever because of who you are, and now I mourn our falling star. That was deep. Government assistance or my soul. It would be like a panther asking a panther hunter for some meat. All high school dropouts are not dumb. All employed aren't lazy. And there are many days I hunger, but I would go hunger and homeless before the American government gets my soul. I heard that. Family tree for mother. Because we all spring from different trees does not mean we are not created equally. Is the true beauty in the tree or in the vast forest in which it breathes? The tree must fight to breed among the evils of the weeds. I find greatness in the trees that grow against all odds. It blossoms in darkness and gives birth to promising pods. I was the tree who grew from weeds and wasn't meant to be. Ashamed, I'm not. In fact, I'm proud of my thriving family tree. That was another great write. Or my soul, dedicated to moms, dedicated to the powers that be. The choice is no stranger to poverty, your soul or government assistance. I'm 18 in a country with no path for a young, unaddicted Black youth with a dream. Instead, I am giving the ultimatum. Wow. See, his thoughts were different. You know, he didn't just he was deep. His thoughts were so profound that he would cross everything that he wrote about and into his writings, that he thought about into his writings. When your hero falls, for my hero, my mother. When your hero falls from grace, all fairy tales are uncovered, myths exposed, and pain magnified, the greatest pain discovered. You taught me to be strong, but I'm confused to see you so weak. You said never to give up, and it hurts to see you welcome defeat. When our hero falls, so does the stars. And so does the perception of tomorrow. Without my hero, there is only me alone to deal with my sorrow. Your heart ceases to work and your soul is not happy at all. What are you expected to do when your only hero falls? I love that. And we have something else that is untitled. Strength is overcome by weakness. Joy is overcome by pain. The night is overcome by brightness. And love, it remains the same. Page there. Now this one, it says, you are ripping us apart, dedicated to crack. Before you came, the triangle never broke. We were bonded and melded as one. But as the two pushed you away, the one got weak and embraced you. And now you're ripping us apart. The worst feeling of helplessness, the greatest pain has rested in my heart. The vision of heaven fades, and the nightmare of loneliness has started. My hero has been defeated by you, and now what can I do? Watch as you destroy us, and our love is finally through? I know the worst is here. I feel it in my heart. You got it into the circle. Now you're tearing us apart. I think we can surmise who he might have wrote that about. A river that flows forever for mother. As long as some suffer, the river flows forever. As long as there is pain, the river flows forever. As strong as a smile can be, the river will flow forever. And as long as you are with me, we'll ride the river together. That was sweet. Sweet. Can you see the pride in the panther? Can you see the pride in the panther as he glows in splendor and grace, toppling obstacles placed in the way of the progression of his race? Can you see the pride in the panther as she nurtures her young all alone? The seed must grow regardless of the fact that it's planted in stone. Can you see the pride in the panthers as they unify as one? The flower blooms with brilliance and outshines the ray of sun. Tears of a Teenage Mother. He's bragging about his new Jordans. The baby just ran out of milk. He's buying gold every 2 weeks. The baby just ran out of Pampers. He's buying clothes for his new girl, and the baby just ran out of medicine. You ask for money for the baby, the daddy just ran out the door. He's more or less writing about deadbeat dads. Tupac was one that cared about humanity, and he tried to make a difference by shining a light through his lyrics, through his poems, and through his music. So that's why I can ride with Tupac. Like I said, not all of his music. Of course, there was some, and not everything he did, but for the foremost, his thoughts, his creativity is what I ride with Tupac. Where there is a will. Where there is a will, there is a way to search and discover a better day. Where a positive heart is all you need to rise beyond and succeed. Where young minds grow and respect each other based on their deeds and not their color. When times are dim, say as I say, where there is a will, there is a way. Yes, there is always a way. Liberty needs glasses. Excuse me, but Lady Liberty needs glasses, and so does Miss Justice by her side. Both the broads are blind as bats, stumbling through the system. Justice bumped into Matulu and tripping on Geronimo Pratt, but stepped right over Oliver and his crooked partner Ronnie. Justice stubbed her big toe on Mandela, and liberty was misquoted by the Indians. Slavery was a learning phase. Forgotten without a verdict while justice is on a rampage. For endangered surviving black males, I mean really, if anyone really valued life, they cared about the masses. They'd take them both to Penn Optical and get 2 pairs of glasses. Now that was deep. How can we be free? Sometimes I wonder about this race because we must be blind as hell to think we live in equality while Nelson Mandela rots in jail. Where the shores of Howard Beach are full of African corpse, and those that do live to be 18 bum rush to join the armed forces. This so-called home of the brave, why isn't anybody backing us up? When they see these crooked ass redneck cops constantly jacking us up. Now I bet some punk will say I'm racist. I can tell by the way you smile at me. Then I remember George Jackson, Huey Newton, and Geronimo. To hell with Lady Liberty. Okay. Boy, the wind is kicking up outside, guys. Okay, this one is called The Promise. I will give you liberty, but first give me your spirit. This I must confiscate because the evil fear it. I too would be afraid of passion governed by reason, an open mind to trying times when corruption is in season. The promise that they claim to be completely true is hypocrisy at its finest, a trick to silence you. Never will I believe a promise from the masters of the art. Trickery does not succeed with those who with honest hearts. And tomorrow. Today is filled with anger, fueled with hidden hate, scared of being outcast, afraid of common fate. Today is built on tragedies which no one wants to face, nightmares to humanities and morally disgraced. Tonight is filled with rage, violence in the air, children bred with ruthlessness because no one at home cares. Tonight I lay my head down, but the pressure never stops, gnawing at my sanity, content when I am dropped. But tomorrow I see change, a chance to build anew, but on spirit, intent of heart, and ideals based on truth. And tomorrow I wake with the second wind and strong because of pride, to know I fought with all my heart to keep my dream alive. That is prolific. I was going to say profound, but prolific. No Wind, Dream Poem. Backed into a corner, alone and very confused, tired of running away, my manhood has been abused. Not my choice to be so blunt, but you must fight fire with flame. I allowed myself to run once and was hunted by the shame. If I must kill, I will, and if I must do it again, I would, but the situation is a no-win. The unanswerable. Question: when will there be peace on earth? Answer: when the earth falls to pieces. Nothing more, nothing less. Nightmares, dedicated to those curious. I pour my heart into this poem and look for the meaning of life. The rich and powerful always prevail, and the less fortunate strive through strife. Mistakes are made to be forgiven. We are too young to stress and suffer. The path of purity and positivity has always written rougher. Your insatiable desire to find perfection has made your faults magnify. Curiosity can't blame for the evil that makes you cry. It isn't a good feeling when you disobey your heart. The nightmares haunt your soul and your nerves are ripped apart. Love it. So I say goodbye, November 20. I'm going into this not knowing what I'll find, but I've decided to follow my heart and abandon my mind. And if there be pain, I know that at least I gave my all. And it is better to have loved and lost than to not love at all. In the morning, I may wake to smile or maybe to cry, But first, to those of my past, I must say goodbye. He is saying goodbye to his past relationships and walking into a new one vulnerably. Okay, guys, this appears to be the last poem with a picture and the timeline. This one is only written and not typed. In the event of my demise, dedicated to those curious. In the event of my demise, when my heart can beat no more, I hope I die for a principle or belief that I had lived for. I will die before my time because I feel the shadow's depth. So much I wanted to accomplish before I reached my death. I have come to grips with the possibility and wiped the last tear from my eyes. I loved all who were positive in the event of my demise. That, I don't know if, like he said, he had a foreshadowing or a belief or felt as though his life would be cut short. But at any rate, I thank him for his book of poems. And I hope you all appreciate them. And with that being said, we will start a new book next time we get together for Poetry Night. And until then, you all have a blessed rest of the night, and know that your blessings are on purpose. And we at Sisters Engaging Everyone, we see you, we thank you for rocking with us, for hanging in there with us, for joining us. We have small subscribers, but we're hoping to broaden that. So once again, if you can hit that like, subscribe, and share this video. We engage you, you engage us, we engage everyone. Good night.